Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Broku. Welcome back to another Dragon Ball video. In today's video, I want to talk about Dragon Ball GT and how I would change it. But anyways, guys, please do leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, and don't forget to go down below in the description and join my Discord. Also, guys, please go subscribe to my gaming channel, Broku Gaming. There's a link down below in the description. I really want to get that channel to over 1,000 subscribers really soon, so please help me out with that. And I'm going to be streaming Fortnite on this channel at 6 o'clock Pacific time tonight. Please come in and watch, that would be a lot of fun. So anyways, guys, I wanted to say that Dragon Ball GT is the most controversial Dragon Ball show or continuity out of all of the Dragon Balls. First off, it's the shortest at only 64 episodes, and either people like it or dislike it, and it's more people dislike it than any other show. Now, personally, I like Dragon Ball GT, but I do see a lot of problems with it. And so I'm making this video to say how I would have done it or how I would have changed it looking back on it now. And I'm not saying what I like talking about now is perfect or it makes sense or it's the best way to do things. This is just how I would do it. And it's not like I sat down and put like 3 hours a day of 3 weeks of writing into this. I just put a little bit of time into it, maybe a couple hours of just thinking. So it's not like I really took a professional viewpoint on this to try and rewrite it. I'm just doing it for fun. So basically, the beginning where Goku becomes a kid again, that really isn't so bad if they only do it for one arc. The first saga, where the whole saga is just based on getting the Dragon Balls again, they wish to make him not a kid anymore and bring him back to an adult. And during this, what didn't make sense is that Goku, despite being reverted back to a kid, was still the strongest person in the series. And at first they made it so he couldn't go Super Saiyan, but he went from not being able to go Super Saiyan to being able to go to Super Saiyan 3 really quickly, and that didn't make sense. So in this, we're going to say that he actually gets massively weakened. He's super weak now, and he can't go Super Saiyan. When Goku goes with Pan and Trunks off to the other planets to find the Dragon Balls, he's actually weak. And Goten and Uub join them. So Uub was this guy that was so hyped. We saw him in End of Z, and he's a reincarnation of Buu. And then he trains with Goku for 5 years, and then he's this weak in the Dragon Ball GT series. He's really this bad? That doesn't make sense. And really, after just 5 years of training, he's essentially done with his training with Goku. That doesn't really make sense to me either. So I think this would be good, where for this arc over they have to go get the Dragon Balls to wish Goku to become an adult again, Goku acts as a master to the group since he wouldn't be strong enough to fight the villains himself. So it's gonna be Uub, Trunks, Goten, and Pan, and then Goku. He's gonna be training them all and teaching them lessons as the trip goes along. Of course, there's gonna be villains along the way. There's gonna be catastrophes and stuff like that, and some funny moments, but don't make it as cheesy as the actual first saga, because GT is good, but the first saga, or the first arc, it was terrible in my opinion. I could really not get into it. And we're gonna have a rivalry between Uub and Goten, as we're going to say that Goten gets jealous about Goku leaving him for 5 years to train with Uub. As remember, at the end of Z, Goku and Goten were training. Now yes, Goten wanted to go on a date with this girl at the very end, and Goku really didn't let him, but let's say that Goten still liked training with his father, and he is mad that Goku just leaves him for the reincarnation of Majin Buu. And again, back to Uub, he should not be done training with Goku after 5 years and being just 15 years old. And also, Goten never got to finish his training, and Goten's a dude that really could be an insanely strong character. And what I'd like to see is Pan develop a crush on Uub. That would be cool. If you've seen Dragon Ball Epsilon, you see that Majin ends up getting married to Pan and they have kids. And man, those kids would be extremely strong. I can't even begin to imagine the potential of those kids. But I would like to see that. It would have been cool. And now Uub would be like, what, 15 and Pan would be 13. So that's close enough for her to develop a crush on him and not be weird. And so maybe like Uub like saves her and stuff like that. And if they overdid it, that wouldn't be good. But I think they could do it pretty well. So they'd gather the Dragon Balls, they'd save the Earth, and they'd still end up interacting with Baby again. And then the Baby arc would come. But instead of taking Vegeta as his main host, he takes Goku, who after the previous arc when they gathered the Dragon Balls, saved the Earth, and made Goku an adult again, he just gotten his adult body. And then Baby takes over. And I think it's better that Vegeta is the villain because he was already the villain in the Saiyan saga. We didn't need to make him a villain again. I think he was sort of a villain in the Majin Buu saga when he became Majin Vegeta. Goku being a villain would have felt new, as even Ginyu Goku was pretty subpar. And this would be a nice flip-flop, switching from the arc of Goku being the master of these young people to the villain of them. It'd be nice to see them use all the techniques, all the tips that Goku taught them over their year trip and see if they can defeat Goku. So they all team up, fight together, and they end up all defeated and all hope is lost. Then Hercule and Fat Boo arrive. Boo uses his healing powers on the group, then tells Uub they need to become one. So this makes Uub, or now known as Majub, extremely powerful. And as we've seen how powerful fusion is in the past, this should make Uub extremely powerful, far beyond Imagine. And then he gets the Boo's powers. He gets healing, candy beam, regeneration, and possibly even absorption. So Majub is now so strong that he defeats baby Goku. And we get to see Uub using the Kaioken, Spirit Bomb, other attacks that Goku knows. So we actually get the feeling that this is Goku's student. This is actually Goku's student. He is using the things that Goku taught him, which we really didn't get to see very much in Dragon Ball GT. So of course Goten's gonna be jealous because Uub is now Majub and this extremely strong character, but he does develop respect for him. And then Uub finally gives in to Pan and goes on a date with her, as he would have Fat Boo's loving and caring spirit inside of him now. So now next would be the Super 17 saga, but let's scratch all of that. Why 17 out of all villains? Let's make it Cell. You would still have Gero and Dr. Mew work together, as Cell was still essentially a creation of Gero. Mew helps and makes Perfect Cell stronger. Maybe even Mew's version of Perfect Cell fuses with Perfect Cell on Hell, but who knows. Then the Super Perfect Cell tries to absorb 18 and 17 again, just for the extra power, since 17 and 18 are still on Earth. And Vegeta is still weaker in the saga, as he didn't really try until the Shadow Dragon saga when Bulma gave him Super Saiyan 4. Vegeta at this point was content with being a father, and Goku is weak now because he had just gotten his adult body back and had not gained all of his powers back, and he's been working to regain them. He's still really strong, but he's still not as strong as he was. But Goten at this point is stronger than Goku now, and Majub and Goten have to team up to take him out. But Uub hasn't been training as much as before, because he was content with his powers gained with fusion with Fat Boo, and he's developing a big crush on Pan, and he keeps spending time with her instead of training. So they would team up and defeat Super Perfect Cell. Again, make it a smaller arc, but not as short as the Super 17 arc. The Super 17 arc was what, like 7 episodes or something like that? Make it at least 10, maybe 11 or 12, but still a short arc overall. But it'd be cool to see Cell again and make him much stronger. So after this, Goten has spent plenty of time training to get stronger. He's achieved Super Saiyan 3, and with Majub's strength and magical powers, they team up and they're able to find a way to defeat Gero's perfect creation. So time passes between the next arc. Majub is completely stopped with his training with Goku. He has been doing this because he believes his powers make him strong enough. He feels he doesn't need to train anymore, and spends a lot of time with Pan, as he really likes her. Goten realizes this gap. He begins training with his father because he wants to pass Uub. He still has a rivalry with him. Babidi knows of Majub and has been working a spell of taking control of him. Or honestly, what if this wasn't even Babidi, but somebody else from the demon realm who knows magic or spells? That would probably be better than Babidi, so let's just switch it to that. It's just a demon from the demon realm, but he's very strong. Maybe like the character from Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Let's say it's somebody who looks like him. He then uses a similar spell to the Majin spell, and he conducts it on Uub, and he now becomes the villain. But it's not like the actual M, since it wouldn't be Majin because it's not Babidi, but it's like a different symbol like that, and it like covers his head. So Uub's cockiness of not having to train made him vulnerable to the spell because he's weak-minded, because he's so easily controlled and so weak in his mind that he doesn't want to continue training because he's content with himself. So we have Evil Majub as the villain, and this leads to finally seeing a Goten versus Majub fight. Something that they would have been building up since the beginning of the rivalry in the first arc in GT. And Goten as a Super Saiyan 3 puts up a fight, but Majub's magical powers and regeneration would overpower him. Pan is the last fighter left, and she goes Super Saiyan. That would have been a cool thing to have in this, to see a girl go Super Saiyan, because that's what a lot of people wanted to know. Could a female Saiyan go Super Saiyan? And we didn't get the chance to see that until now in Dragon Ball Super, but they could have done this back then as well, especially if she's training with Goku more. She doesn't fight much in this, as this is the man that she loves. She loves Uub, and she knows that he is still in there. But still, he's evil, and he's blinded by the spell, and he just wallops Pan around like a ragdoll. She is very messed up, and he's about to finish her off, but Uub on the inside is able to break out and stop this from happening. But when Uub comes out, it's just Uub. It's not Majub. The spell had corrupted the Boo part inside of him, and it now was transforming it, improving it. I guess this is a lesson learned for you, Uub. Never stop training. If you had continued, maybe you would be of use to us now. Because Uub was so reliant on his powers he had gotten from Majin Buu that when he's defused with him, he's nothing anymore. He's just Uub and he hasn't been training, so he's not that strong compared to Goten now. So Uub looks down at himself. He's embarrassed. He was blinded by his former powers and was now just useless in this fight. He felt a sense of helplessness and he just felt completely useless. Even Pan looked at him weird, but she still loved him and he loved her, but she just looked at him differently because that wasn't the man she did fall in love with. As he would hold Pan as she was very fucked up from Uub beating her up when he was blinded by the spell, they watched Goku and Goten take on the new evil Buu, but controlled by a different demon with a different symbol. And doesn't even really look like that much of Buu anymore, because the spell like transformed Buu, make him much stronger, gave him new powers. So this is a variation of Buu, but it looks different. And then we go to Goku, who still has his tail, because when he was reverted to being a kid, his tail came back, and it stuck with him when he was switched back to adulthood. The full moon comes, and Goku goes Golden Ozaru, and he goes on a rampage, attacking both the demon and Goten, before mastering it and turning into a Super Saiyan 4. This would be a badass moment, as Goku had primarily been a sideshow for the series so far, but this would be a nice surprise and a cool way to show his rise again back to being the strongest of the Z fighters. And this would be another interesting thing, because this would get Vegeta interested again, just like it did in GT, and just like Super Saiyan God did in Dragon Ball Super. And it brings him out of the woodworks. He looks for the Super Saiyan 4 form that Goku found. It's the once proud and strong Uub is now weak, and he's not very confident with himself, and after losing the powers of Buu. So this is just part 1 of my rewriting. I'll probably do another part where I'm going to add a couple arcs and then wrap it up, but this is kind of like what I see, what it should have been. Should have focused more on Uub and the other characters, but still have Goku as a good character, but show him as more of the teacher now. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this video. Anyways, do leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, and go down to the link below right now, join my Discord, and turn on notifications for my channel to see more of my videos, and also follow me on Twitter. That would be very much appreciated. But thanks to all my Patreon supporters, Daraj Payton, the Awesome Guy Only Sports Broku on Patreon, and Zax Wataku. Those are my Super Saiyan 1s. Now thanks to my Super Saiyan 2s, Israel Flores, Mystic Ghoul, Darius, Badass Thug, Griffin Jacob, Dutch Gamer Monkey, Sin Overlord, Connor Trigg, Locke, and Gerald Herbert. Thank you guys so much for all the support on Patreon. That really does mean a lot, and it is helping me out. And I hope you guys all have an amazing day. Peace out.